Do you have an entire movie in your head but struggle to connect the dots when you sit down to write? You are not alone, and Pixar story artist Hannah Roman is here to help. Join her as she shares insider tips and tricks used by Pixar to shape the story beats of your film. You'll leave this video more confident and ready to tackle your next story challenge.
The story is in the minor beats. That's like the meat of it. That's why we feel something about the major beats.
A story beat in screenwriting is every action that moves the story forward. They're the smallest unit of a story. Looking for a simple way to organize your story beats? At Pixar, they often use the story spine. We already covered it in this video, but here's the gist of it from Pixar story artist Margaret Spencer.
Story spine is a super reductive economic tool that we use at Pixar all the time, where we figure out what the most important events in a film are as simply as possible. And it goes something like this. Once upon a time, there was, character X, Y, and Z who every day did A, B, C, until one day something changes. And because of that change, there is a response. And because of that response, something else happens too, until finally there is some kind of resolution. And then ever since that incident, you have the end of your story.
Let's explore the story beats of a possible story spine for Pixar's Up. Once upon a time, there is a grumpy old man named Carl, and every day he's reminded of his late wife, Ellie, and their childhood dream of going to Paradise Falls. Until one day, he unleashes a horde of balloons attached to his house and flies away, accidentally taking a kid with him. And because of that, they adventure towards Paradise Falls and meet a dog and a bird along the way. And because of that, Carl meets his childhood hero, who wants to capture Carl's bird. And because of that, Carl must choose between saving his house or go with the kid to rescue the bird. Until finally, Carl learns that the ultimate adventure is to enjoy loved ones, so he saves the bird and lets go of his house. And ever since that day, Carl keeps happily living his life in the company of his new friends. Those are the cornerstones of the entire story. From there, you can find the major beats for your Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. Typically, an animated film contains about 40 major story beats, 10 for the first act, 20 in the second act, and 10 in the third act. But writing is not a mathematical exercise, so don't worry about the exact numbers. By the way, this is a great time to subscribe so you won't miss any new videos. Okay, now you have your story spine and your major beats. Now, the challenging part is to create the actions and event that link them. Those are your minor beats.
The minor beats are everything that you're going to come up with now that connects all of these major beats together. They're a series of events that make up the major beats or they connect them. And each minor beat will take your character or maybe your audience one step closer to the next major beat.
Let's see the minor beats in action during Up's opening montage.
People talk about that opening montage of Up. It's like 90% of the Act 1. Here's the minor beats, and there's a lot of them. Carl and Ellie meet as children. They fall in love and they get married. They build a home together. They get jobs at a local zoo. They want to have children, but they learn they can't. Ellie is distraught, and Carl reminds her of their other dream, going to Paradise Falls. They save up, but they can never afford to go. They always have all these financial things come up that they have to use the money for. Despite this, they are happy and they grow old together. Eventually, though, Carl feels bad that they never went, so he plans a surprise trip there. He gets the tickets, but Ellie falls ill and passes away before they can go. And now Carl is left alone.
So how do we come up with our minor beats? First, write down all of your ideas. Then take a look at each one of them and ask yourself if it fits with the story you are telling.
So what's the purpose of a minor beat? If a major beat are these big plot points, the big whats that drive the plot forward. The minor beats are the little hows and whys and how the character feels about it, how the audience should feel about each major beat. And you're always choosing all these minor beats, not only to move your story along, but to also say something about the theme or about your character's arc.
Before we dive into a great exercise with Hannah, I have something exciting to share with you. What you've been learning in this video is just a glimpse of Story Xperiential, a 9-week online course where you'll develop your story and learn from Pixar Storytellers. Even if you're not an artist or a professional writer, head over to storyexperiential.com and use promo code WRITE4ANIMATION to get a special discount. The link is right below the like button. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Now, let's get back to the exercise with Hannah.
Put the major beats over here. Write my theme out. The theme of Up is Adventures Out There.
Adventure is out there!
And I start to think about how all of these concepts are connected. And I ask a bunch of questions that the minor beats are going to ultimately have to answer. The biggest question, how is the theme that I want to communicate in the story? How does that connect to the main character? What does he need to learn? How is that going to have anything to do with the plot? What would make the Act 1 inciting incident the until one day moment? How is that emotionally poignant for an audience?
We're on our way, Ellie.
Now up to the main character. Was he always grumpy? You know, they chose to start him as a child, and he was not grumpy when he was a child. He was a little bit square, but he wasn't grumpy. Was he happier when she was alive? And then there's this other character that gets introduced in Act 1, Russell. Why choose a kid for this story, right? Why did they choose a kid? How could he connect to that main theme? They make him a wilderness explorer, adventure. He's serving a purpose in the storytelling of the theme of the movie. In the beginning, Carl dismisses him, tells him to go away. That's kind of your main character rejecting the theme. And eventually, when the main character's learning the theme at the end of the movie, all of those minor beats are going to make the audience cry or laugh or cheer or really just feel something. Wow.
No minor beat is random. Each one will help you establish your theme, character, and future events. Every moment matters. This is a great exercise and it really works. Now, keep learning from Pixar Storytellers by clicking on this special playlist I created for you. If you found this video useful, give us a thumbs up, share and subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. I am Pietro, and this is WFA Animation. Now, go write something great.
Get out of here.